Good morning, Loz.
Hello, Tim.
How you doing today then?
I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Great. Yeah, I'm enjoying the sunny weather. You know,
Yeah, it eases the pain of lockdown a bit, doesn't it?
it certainly does. Yeah. I'm appreciating that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's good to have you here today in this little Zoom chat. But I just wanted to run through a few things with regard to the work that we've done together. So I just want you to start by telling us a little bit about yourself and why you decided to join my program.
I'm mid-40s, and I've spent my working life in the commercial world. So I've run buying departments in food companies, and I decided that I wanted to career change, and I wanted to become a barrister, which means going through several years of fairly intensive training. And I am currently doing my bar finals. I'm also seeking pupillage, which is one of the essential steps to becoming a barrister. And all this stuff is pretty challenging. And I felt like I needed all the help and support that I could get. So, academically, I felt like I was in the best place that would give me the best training. I felt like I had a good network of friends and family around me, but I knew what your work involved. I had some idea, and I thought, actually, I think it might be worth investing my time and just investing into some coaching support. And I thought that might have some usefulness for me. So that proved to be the case, and I'm glad that we had our sessions together because it gave me more of a focus on how I could achieve my goals of, on the one hand, getting good results in my bar exams, and on the other hand, getting pupillage, which is an all-important step.
Great. Yeah. So, with that in mind, what are some of the key things that you took away from the work that we did together?
I mean, it sounds a bit of a cliche, but I think the development of my self-knowledge in the whole process was very significant. And to make that specific, I think you helped to put your finger on and help me put my finger on some of the silent self-defeating behaviors in my approach when it came to study. So to explain, I think I realized that I was very, very distractible. I'm somebody with lots of interests, and I'm a sociable person. And in terms of like the technology that's available, Facebook, Twitter, social media, that I find very attractive. Even if I'm in the middle of reading my way through a 1,000-page document, I find my mind strays off and I get distracted. Now, I don't think I realized how much of an impediment that was to properly engaging with the academic side of things. And through what we talked about, I was able to identify that issue of distraction and to neutralize its effect to a large degree. And then you held me accountable to it, to what I decided to do. So specifically taking Twitter off my phone was a useful way of helping me to study, and it was necessary because it's the kind of little discipline that I found that I needed to put in place. And I think without you being there to help me identify it and then to hold me accountable on decisions that I was making, it would have been more difficult for me to clear the decks so that I could study properly.
Great. So what would you say, having said that, what was the most important success that you achieved as a result of working with me?
I think it's in terms of my course, I can't really speak about that yet. I've had 2 results back and they've been very good, but I haven't had the overall results yet. In fact, the exams are still going on. And pupillage is something that I'm still trying to achieve. So we're mid-process. Having said that, I can detect a very different approach in me based upon what we did in the work together. So there are things that I'm doing now that I wasn't doing before, and I would identify those as when it comes to putting in the hard yards of the study or preparing for interview. I'm doing that more successfully now. I call it enjoying the grind. I'm more able now to say, okay, this is the grind. Let's go through it. Let's enjoy it. Let's put my head down and plug on and find, in a way that I wasn't, I used to shy away from that really concerted focus. Didn't like it. Got distracted, went on to social media. It was easier, read a book. But actually, that to me now has become a key part of how I'm going to succeed is enjoy the grind. This is what we're doing. We're focusing. We're getting rid of that. We're smashing it. We're moving on to the next thing. And the other thing I'd say is that I've learned to celebrate success. One of the big things that you taught me or identified in me was that I've been very reluctant to say, yeah, I did that well. I can celebrate that achievement. And without that celebration, I wasn't laying down markers of progress. And I wasn't able to kind of see that I was moving in the right direction. So I'm celebrating success now. I'll go through a piece of work that I'm doing. I'll get to the end and I'll say, yeah, I did that well. I did it as well as I could. And when I get a result back, I will, I'll do something to mark that, some sort of reward, whatever it might be. Even look at Twitter for a few minutes. Yeah, celebrating success and enjoying the grind, a change in the way that I'm working, and I think that's significant. And it's that, I read a book recently that talks about how one of the big secrets of successful people is that they make incremental progress in everything that they're doing, in what they're seeking to do. And I think you've helped me in that way. You've helped me to make marginal gains, incremental progress that is going to stand me in very good stead.
Great. So enjoying the grind, a concerted focus, and celebrating the wins.
Celebrating the wins. And I don't know why, I still don't really know why I didn't do that before, but I think it's absolutely key.
Great. Okay. So was there anything that surprised you about the program?
Well, I think we had some really quite good laughs, didn't we, from time to time? There were moments of revelation and realization where I just started laughing and realizing that I'd been in a kind of hole of my own making, in terms of the way I was working or not working. And yeah, it was great to be able to share a chuckle over that stuff. I was sometimes surprised at how deeply I was challenged in the process. I didn't feel that you were at all in my face about things, but it was just the way that you identified that issue. And I thought, I'm running away from that issue myself. I don't want to face it. But here I am with somebody who's holding up a mirror to me and holding me accountable. And so I suppose that aspect of being accountable for change that I'd agreed to, that I wanted, that I was implementing, that took me slightly by surprise, because there was a level of reality to it, which is not entirely comfortable, but is necessary.
Sure. Okay. Good. Well, would you recommend this program, and why?
I think that self-knowledge is hard won, but it's vital in making progress in life. It's painful to get it, and it's difficult, and you do need help. So, and again, I don't want to talk in cliches, but I think anybody who wants more self-knowledge, more progress in their lives, it could help them. A process like the one you run, your input, could help them to see ways in which they were limiting themselves, defeating themselves, or not enjoying what they had achieved. in the sort of way that I experienced it. So yeah, I think anybody who needed that would benefit from your program. There's, I was thinking about this earlier, and a quote from Shakespeare came to mind. I think it's Hamlet, and he talks about holding a mirror up to nature. And we can't do that for ourselves. In my view, we need people who can carefully and sensitively and kindly hold a mirror up to us and say, what about that? What's going on there? And I feel like that's what you did for me, and I feel that that would be effective for other people as well, because we can all benefit from somebody who's professional training and a sensitive approach, holding a mirror up to us and helping us to make some adjustments where that's necessary. So that's, I would recommend it. I think that's the main thing that I would say to people who are considering reaching out to you for coaching help.
Great. So that reflective experience of seeing for yourself who you are, and coming to a place where you can make conscious decisions or even have revelation of what's going on for you and how to move forward with that new knowledge, revelation, recognition, understanding that you've gained from yourself.
And that's right. I mean, we can all have, we can all reflect on ourselves, and I benefit from time alone, thinking through what I've done, what I've said, where I'm going. But it's a different thing when somebody such as yourself helps us to face things that perhaps we're slightly in flight of or just unaware of. There's a kind of faithfulness to that and a trueness to the reality of who we are, which is essential. And that's something I've benefited from in working with you.
Great.
Yeah.
And just to close finally, would you recommend this program? And if necessary, why might you do that?
I think the structured aspect of the program is good. We had 8 sessions, I think. It's well explained. You provided me with a book for reflection, and I remember writing in that and then coming to you with what I'd been thinking about and areas that I wanted to work on. So it's that structured approach will work well for people. There is genuinely a sense of you are going on a path of progress. It's not in a way, it's not airy-fairy at all. It's very practical. You helped me to set out my goals, and then we worked out a way to get there. And that's very useful to have a kind of targeted approach. So yeah, that's something about the program that I think would appeal to people. It's something I'd recommend.
Right. So that structured approach you really appreciated and benefited from.
Yeah, I think so. And for me, it almost that was part of helping me to see that my own approach wasn't structured enough, that I needed to adopt a more thought through and a bit more of a rigorous approach to to exams and studying for those, for example, or to preparing application forms for interview. And that stood me in good stead. I was able to produce, the material that I needed for interview very well. I got a lot of interviews, that whole structured approach worked for me for sure.
Great. And as you said previously, we had moments of fun and release and laughter. We had a good time together as well.
Yeah, it was genuinely fun. In among the more tricky aspects and the reflective aspects, it was genuinely a good laugh.
Sure. Okay. Great. Well, thanks for working with me on this one today. And
thank you.
And I'm obviously still supporting you from the side. in terms of your progress and eagerly looking forward to seeing the results of this current journey that you're on, and continuing to root for you to see you cross that finish line. And it'd be nice to see a few gold medals coming.
Yeah, I'll show you. My next video will be all my trophies and medals. Yeah, excellent. Thanks so much, Tim. Really appreciate that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Loz. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.